Two hot topics now, and an interest rate cut is finally within reach after headline inflation fell to 2.4%, the lowest rate in nearly 4 years. Now, economists and financial markets are confident a long-awaited rate cut is on the horizon. The promising news could also prompt an election call as the Albanese government looks to make the most of the momentum and strike while the iron is hot, so to speak. For their take, let's bring in National Senator Matt Canavan and Mayor of the Sunshine Coast, Rosanna Natoli. Good morning to both of you. So mortgage holders pretty happy about this morning, but you know who'll be happier? Mr Anthony Albanese. Will this be enough to get the PM across the line in this year's election? Matt Canavan, what do you think?
Well, Natalie, I don't think so, because I don't think the Australian people are mugs. I mean, we are well behind the eight ball when it comes to other countries. The average homeowner is paying more than $10,000 a year on their mortgage relative to before the Labor government got elected. A small rate cut's not going to make up for that, of course. In other countries, they've been having rate cuts for 6 months or more now. In Canada, they've had 6 rate cuts. In Europe, they've had 3. So we're way behind the rest of the world here when it comes to having some mortgage relief. And that's because I think Australian people understand that this government has been spending like drunken sailors, and it's why the RBA has been so reluctant to provide the same interest rate relief that has been happening overseas. So I think people will see through this, that the inflation numbers are cooked. They're cooked by using your taxpayer money to provide subsidies, which itself is adding to inflationary pressures, and we're way behind the rest of the world here when it comes to taking the pressure off inflation.
Yeah, a lot of countries went up higher, so there is that in the government's defence, I guess. There's nothing more important than cost of living right now. It has been such a tough 4 years. People have made many sacrifices, we know that. Families deserve some relief, don't they? Rosanna, do you think this will sway people? The government could get 2 cuts, one in February and one on April the 1st. Will this get them over the line?
I think if you put politics aside, and the cynics might say it is related to a federal election, anything that is going to help with cost of living has to be something that we welcome, because, you know, we are getting credit card bills after Christmas, we've got back to school costs. It is really a time when people are hurting. So we do need to remember that for most Australians, anything that is going to help with that cost of living and the price of just, you know, buying groceries, paying your bills, being alive. We have to remember that people are hurting, and it's really a good move in that sense.
Moving on, the popular beer company Great Northern, aka the beer from up here, that's what they say, is being labelled as, quote, woke, unquote, over their latest Outdoors for a Cause campaign. It was all about raising money to help protect land through national parks, but customers aren't happy, Jan. Matt, drinkers say the move would get them locked out of places they actually love to hunt, camp and fish, most of which can't be done inside national parks. Is this what beer's all about, Matt?
Well, I think this is just another example, Natalie, that businesses should just stick to their knitting. That why do they get involved in these political causes they don't understand? I mean, they've already backed down from this, so they've admitted their mistake. They're not going to fund the expansion of national parks. I mean, I understand why people, you know, in the big cities think, oh, yeah, let's just have more national parks. That sounds great to draw more green highlighter on a map. But the reality is up here, a lot of these areas aren't national parks. They become weed parks. They become areas where just weeds and pests are infested. No one looks after them, and they're terrible. They're a terrible blight on our landscape. So that's why there's been that reaction. But look, the worst thing here is that they need to fix their advertising too. They keep saying they're the beer from up here. They're not from up here. I'm up here. I'm coming to you from central Queensland. They brew their beer almost 1,000 kilometres south of me, down south of Brisbane.
No.
So stop that. Bring the brewery up here to North Queensland, and that will fix the issue.
The beer from down there. The beer from down lower doesn't really ring true, does it? That's a bit strange.
No, not for us.
Rosanna, do you think that you can see a bunch of marketing people sitting around the table thinking this is cool, this will win people over, and it hasn't?
I think what it shows is that brands really do need to understand their customers. So that's the first thing. Second of all, people power. In this day and age, it is really the power of the masses and what your customers really say. But, you know, is this a masterstroke? Because here we are, national television, breakfast, and we are talking about it. People are talking about it. Did they think, hey, this is something that will get people talking? Well, if they did, that bit worked at least. But I'm not sure that it's really helped with what they were wanting to do. But, you know, there is some benefit to come from it, that's for sure.
Will this make people go and buy a Great Northern? Finally, take a look at this. One person is taking reserving a park to the next level. They set up a chair and a shade. Have a look at this guy, Matt. You drive into this car park, you see this person, what do you do?
Well, I don't know if I want to say what I want to do.
Go on,
air,
it's just us,
no,
Matt.
I think, well, no, I don't think it is, but I can understand the frustration of people there. No, that is not on. I don't think that should be allowed at all. Maybe we should have a law. Maybe we need to debate that at Parliament next week, that you can't reserve parks like that. Leave them free and open for people.
That could actually get people interested in Parliament. I mean, let's face it, some of it is not that interesting.
Right.
This is also frustrating for drivers. Check this out when someone's getting into their car, taking their sweet old time, holding everyone else up. Rosanna, how long is acceptable to hold up the traffic while you're waiting for the spot?
Well, you know, I think everybody needs to take a deep breath. This is summer holiday. We're looking at the car park. When you finally snag that spot, I think all bets are off. I think you can probably wait for a while. And the fact people are beeping, that's just hilarious that they do that. And also, I do have a little confession when it comes to, you know, barring a car park. I might have once or twice said to the kids, get out, quick, stand in the car park, mind it for me as I go round. And they wouldn't do it.
Rosanna, Matt.
Confession.
Any comeback here?
Human shield. Yeah, use the kids as human shield. Well, maybe I should use my kids for that too.
Oh, well, Matt's going to take it through Parliament, I think. So watch out. The law will be against you.
Life in prison.
With a coalition government. You heard it here first. Thank you. See you next week. Here's Sherbo.